I believe the biggest problem in the world is that people don't understand themselves enough. This show is designed to help you understand your INFJ personality, heal from your past, and create a life that you love. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and this is the Quiet Ones podcast. One of the things that I struggle with the most is a lack of self-love and confidence. Some people call it self-love deficiency disorder. I've spent a lot of time working on this, and I want to share what I've learned with you just in case you struggle with the same thing. On this Thursday episode of the Quiet Ones podcast, we're talking all about confidence. Let's take a listen. When I was growing up, I wanted to make my parents happy. I was one of those good children who, if my parents told me to do something, I was always doing it. If my parents told me not to do something, then I would never go near it. So when I came to, when I got to like high school age, you know, you have to decide what you want to do with like the rest of your life. And there was all this pressure to do the right thing, but I had no idea what the right thing was. And the only real message that I got from my parents is you have to go to college. And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to college. But I always looked to them for all of the answers, right? And so when I asked them, what should I major in? I got different answers from them. And it was really just kind of like, well, it's up to you. And I'm like, cool, but what do I do with that? It's almost like when you're young, you're conditioned to not make decisions for yourself. And then you get to be the age of like 18, 19, 20, and all of a sudden you have to make all of these decisions. And you feel all of this pressure to make the right decisions, but you don't know how to make a right decision because everybody's already made all the decisions for you in the past. And so for me, that was like this horrifying time in my life that was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to manage myself. I don't know how to parent myself, right? So I had to learn all of that. I ultimately decided, I graduated from college in, I don't even remember the first time. Well, I graduated high school in 2004, and then I graduated in 2006. My first degree, and then my second degree was in 2010, I believe. So right before I graduated with my second degree, I left the area where my parents lived, and I moved 1,000 miles away from my parents. And what happened was I was forced to make all of my own decisions. I was forced to figure out who I was as a person. And it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I had relied so much on everybody else who was around me to make decisions. And I'm still kind of bad about that now. If there's a big decision that I need to make, or if I'm even worried about somebody, like if they said something nasty to me or something, I have this habit of going around to each one of my friends and asking them what they think. And then like taking a poll, and then I'll figure out how I feel based on how the majority of them feel, which I know is not the best way to go about things, but that's what I've done for so long. When it comes to, though, a fear of letting your parents down, I think it's important for you to recognize that your parents want what's best for you, ultimately. Even if they're telling you that you need to do a specific thing, and it doesn't feel right to you, they're telling you that because they want what's best for you. My mom told me that I should major in business when I was in college, and I was like, that's ridiculous. I don't want to start a business. I don't want to manage a business. I don't want anything to do with business. And here I am. I have my own business. I run my own business. Even my day job is marketing. So obviously she knew more than what I gave her credit for back then. That's another thing that you learn as you grow up. Now that I'm almost 36 years old, I have just recently in the last few years started to realize that my parents know a lot more than I ever give them credit for. And I've actually made this habit of every time I figure out one of those things, I I have to call my mom and dad and be like, listen, I'm so sorry. I know that I told you, or I acted like at least, that you were stupid for so long, but it turns out you're actually right. And they're like, oh, really? That's funny. So yeah, it's one of those things. The older that you get, the less you realize that you know. It is important though for you to succeed on your own. If you live under your parents' idea of what your life should be, you're going to be really unhappy. Your parents, they want what's best for you, but it's not your job to live their life or to live their version of your life. It's your job to figure out who you are as a person without them and to succeed on your own. And even if they're not happy with you when you start making those decisions, they will ultimately be happy for you. When I moved away from my family, my parents told me it was the worst thing that I had ever done. And my mom even said to me, I'll have the guest room made up for you when you get back. And I'm like, I'm not coming back, I'm moving. And she's like, yeah, but when you get back, it'll be here for you. And I did actually end up having to go back for a year. But after that, I was like, okay, I have to figure this out. I have to do this on my own. And now my parents tell me that they're very proud of me, that I made all of those decisions and I was able to step out on my own. So, I mean, that was what I was looking for. And I think that's ultimately the fear of letting your parents down. That's what you want to hear, is that they're proud of you for making your own decisions and for stepping into your own. And really the only way that you can do that sometimes is to disappoint them. But in the end, you're going to succeed and you're going to be a lot happier if you make decisions based on what you want rather than what your parents want.
Hi there! I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm working very hard to produce content that will help you, and I really appreciate your support. Also, if you want some more inspiration, check out this video right here.